Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Luke McMillan. I'm a third-year student at Montfort University, studying Human Resource Management, and I'm here today to be giving a brief presentation on how organisational performance can be improved using HRM strategies. I'll be focusing on the concept of managing diversity. If you have any questions, please feel free to interact with me any time during the presentation. So I've started off firstly with a quote from the CIPD website. It quotes, the biggest asset of any business is the people working within it. So I thought I'd just let you, what does that mean to you? I'd let you have a quick think about it. It stuck out to me because it shows that the quote emphasises on the importance of people. You can take the people out of an organisation and there'd be no organisation. So no matter how much a business can innovate its processes and computerise and automate production, humans have always got to be in contact to ensure functions are operating correctly. So, as stated, people are essential, and it's clear that, for this reason, effective HR practices are needed. So, managing diversity, what is it? I've got a highly recognised definition here from Candola and Fullerton. The basic concept of managing diversity accepts that the workforce consists of a diverse population of people. The diversity may be visible or invisible differences. They include factors such as sex, age, race, ethnicity, ability, work style and personality. It's founded on the premises that harnessing these differences together will create an environment that's more productive, where everyone feels valued, where people's intelligence can work together to bring different qualities together to reach organisational goals. So, to analyse the definition, what does it mean in terms? So, it can be interpreted that diversity management is purely a business strategy. It's not involved with equal opportunity law legislation, it's purely for business success. And it treats people as an individual, which is where I believe the slight confusion may be aroused by the difference between equal opportunities. It creates the productivity gains as mentioned in the definition, and that's what organisations are searching for, a competitive advantage from the people within the organisation. But is that always the case? Let's be critical of the definition. Does it do what it states? As a HR student myself, you'll probably think I'm giving you a biased opinion, but it's great to look at it from both sides. It clearly has positive aims in the fact that it says people with different characteristics will work together. But is that always the case? Surely with people from different cultures, backgrounds, different values and beliefs, surely they're going to have different ways of working, and that could easily cause conflict and argument within the workplace. There could also be language barriers that interrupt communication, disrupting business goals. So it's pretty certain that detailed organisation analysis is essential when incorporating diversity management. So moving on to incorporating it, the supply should first of all be analysed. Can you get the diversity within your organisation? I've briefly looked on the National Census of 2011, and I've decided to highlight the city of Leicester. The population of Leicester currently is around 300,000 people, and it shows that only 53% of residents are considered to be white British, with 29% Asian, 4.6% black, and 2.6% mixed race, and 1.5% Chinese. So this example shows that Leicester as a city is now the 11th most diverse city in the UK. So incorporating it ties alongside with culture. Culture is defined as the shared symbols, values, beliefs within an that a person has within an organisation. Changing or adapting an organisation's culture may be essential with incorporating a diversity management strategy. It needs to be created where goals, beliefs, values are shared between the same people in the organisation to achieve a shared goal, and in that sense it will create the environment that's needed. Secondly, with incorporating it, diversity auditing is essential. The main process is planning with the incorporation strategy. An organisation needs to ask what diversity strategy it has in place already, if any. It also needs to ask itself what is it putting in place for, and what is it hoping to achieve by it. Developing these points will give an organisation points for themselves to address, implement and targets to reach regarding diversity. So I've got a case study validation here from Tesco. They're the UK's biggest private employer, and their corporate responsibility review in 2006 showed that they need to develop 3 key areas in the diversity of their employment. So it was predominantly dominant that there were male store managers and senior team members. So this review showed that female store managers needed to be increased. Also, store managers and senior team members from ethnic groups, again predominantly white male, so it's showing that there's a pattern of segregation in a way. Also, 45 to 54-year-old store managers needed to be improved. It seemed that the age was too young, there wasn't enough diversity around the age. But within the validation of Tesco, it also showed that they retain 80% of their staff, and 14% of their workforce has some kind of disability, which is 1% above the national UK average. So we can see that the UK's largest private employer is well into a diversity strategy management, in the hope to harness the advantages. So, a saleable term, you could decide that so far, but from the point of Tesco, they're clearly putting a lot of effort into managing it. So obviously, what's the catch? What are the risk factors of diversity management? Firstly, we've got human reaction. It's very hard to measure how humans will react to certain situations. It's hard to predict, and the risk of this reaction could be negative, especially with a diverse population, people from different backgrounds, different cultures, reacting differently. Again, could cause conflict within the workplace. So these details influence how diversity is incorporated. And from the human reaction, what's looked to do is reaction surveys and employee surveys, satisfaction surveys, and what they hope. Another risk factor or adverse implication is time consumption. Diversity management is not something that can be done overnight. It's very much something that's organised. It's a main cost as well. A strict and adequate time frame should be designed and stuck to ensure that it's done correctly. You might be able to design a brilliant plan and not implement it in the right amount of time. It might take 2 or 3 years to implement, and then it's no good. So it's the balance. And what ties in with the time consumption is the financial cost of it. Time is money. And research and development is needed into the organisation. Changes in any infrastructure, changes in any processes that may occur. All these things are going to require individuals to carry out, liaise with employees, to carry out more surveys, more feedback surveys. And these processes aren't going to be carried out for a free cost. It's going to take extra time within the organisation. And finally, how are we going to measure the effectiveness of it? It's pretty hard to exactly pinpoint if this strategy is effectiveness. Long term, it's expected to see greater employee relations, along with a higher percentage of employee retention, so a lower staff turnover. And obviously, the main goal was, as mentioned in Candola and Fullerton's definition, the increased knowledge and human capital within a population that are working together from different backgrounds. That's what the diversity is aiming to do. So all these processes involve people. And again, as the financial costs and the time consumption and the reaction said, it's got to be measured to know that you're doing a proper job, to know it's being carried out successfully. Obviously, you can look at the end of the year financial statistics to say how well the business has improved over the past year, but to be absolutely adequate, it's got to come from the employee, it's got to come from a shop floor level. You've got to know that as treating your employees as individuals, that they feel like they are voting for the organisation, it increases their motivation, increases their commitment. And that's where you're hoping to achieve that increased productivity. So the benefits and goals. As mentioned, advanced knowledge and innovation and progression. With the advanced knowledge, training and development is what expected to be achieved. That's the main goal for diversity. It brings the innovation and progression towards a final business product or service or whatever it might be. It in turn strengthens the business and gives you ahead of your competitors. Utilising the range of characteristics within the workforce, share skills, and the human capital which is gained is seen as the main goal in the optimum business productivity. Again, as mentioned, employee commitment and motivation. Employee commitment and motivation is another step to achieving the business success through diversity management. It sees that employees will work to the best of their ability or higher than previously before. They'll feel like they're a part of the organisation, they want the organisation to achieve. And with the shared goal, when the correct culture is created, with the shared goal that's brought, it will bring all the background, all the different values, the different beliefs to work together to share their skills, to share their knowledge, to create a final, innovative, progressive product. And as highlighted in Tesco's case study, employee retention. The organisations are going to great heavily investment in diversity management. It's important to emphasise that the organisation spent a lot of money incorporating a strategy similar to this. So they don't want the employee to train and develop the employees, to create the culture for employees to leave. They want to retain that, and by retaining that, they hope to gain a lot more consistency throughout the organisation. Consistency in the form of development and success. Consistency in the form that employees will work together and understand the environment that they're in clearly. So overall, it's aimed to create a business success from the people. So to summarise, diversity management is advancing the workforce knowledge, bringing different people from different backgrounds together, creating a shared goal for them to achieve, and creating an environment where they can all work productively. As mentioned, it has got its drawbacks in the respect that you've got to analyse how people may react to change, analyse how people may work together, but ultimately, when done correctly, it's going to increase the motivation of employees, going to feel valued, recognised by the company. It's going to adhere to their recognition, adhere to the investment. It works two ways. It's very much tailoring work for your employees as a company, how they want to be and how you want them to be. Ultimately, it's achieving the productivity and efficiency levels that you couldn't achieve before with a standard workforce. So what recommendations and advice can we give today for the diversity management? Organisations will identify areas where diversity management needs to be in the process. It will then allow relevant personnel to make any alterations or notifications to any departments needed to know that diversity management is being implemented. So overall, it's the organisation analysis and organising the organisation is essential when implementing a strategy. As mentioned, employee surveying is an essential part of it. The employees need to know what's going on for them to be satisfied. They need to agree with the methods that are in place. Also, you want to be working with them rather than against them. And tailoring the culture, that is probably one of the main issues. An environment needs to be created where, because of the wide range of differences within the organisation, individuals have different beliefs, different goals. They all need to be brought together to work in harmony to the final goal, to the final specific aim of the business, to achieve the business targets. So by incorporating that shared goal, that's creating the diverse, productive environment that we're talking about.